Are we going live? Yes. Oh my gosh. We're live. Thank God. It took a bit. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't know, but I had for the first time a difficulty on Zoom, and it is working now. So I'm happy. And let me check if I'm live on D Live, I'm live on YouTube, and I'm not live in the Foxhole, which is weird, but I cannot change anything about that. Anyway, so tonight we're here with Lily Nova, and very excited about that. I hope you all are too. And we're going to be talking about your experiences which you had during your COVID, during everybody's COVID period. And let's just go ahead and start telling us, first of all, who you are and how it all began.
Mm-hmm. So I am Lily Nova. I am an astrophotographer, an ET contactee, UFO photographer, and a cosmic channeler, and also content creator. And so I wasn't really into UFOs before. I mean, I always knew that there was something else out there, and I found space just fascinating. I loved space. I always felt drawn to the stars. And when COVID happened and we're in the middle of lockdown, nobody can, do anything else. I turned to the stars and I began shooting astrophotography, which is taking pictures of galaxies, nebula, the Milky Way, things like that. So I began spending every single night outside under the stars. And within a couple or a few months into doing that, I had my first UFO encounter. And it was a very, very close encounter, very paradigm shifting. I saw this ship. I was on my front porch at like 2 a.m. or 1:57, I think it was. And I just looked to my left and there was a UFO hovering over the neighborhood. And
Wow.
yeah, and then I was like, oh my God, ruled everything else out. It's not a planet, it's not, a plane, anything else. And then an orange light appeared down the street from my house. It was eerily quiet. I looked back for a second and there was a second craft that had appeared much closer. And I was bending my neck, looking up at it. It was a big, like diamond shaped, I could see the lights on it. So this thing was like pretty big. And it was only a few houses down, and it did a bunch of crazy maneuvers, then came straight for me. And I took a few steps back and it went above my head and vanished. And then after that, I started seeing UFOs left and right, and I began documenting them with my camera. And it just became like a big thing. I became a UFO investigator. I was really just fascinated, wanted to learn more, and they were definitely like singling me out to, it's like they wanted me to capture them on camera and show people. So yeah, that's how it started. And I just started seeing them left and right, and I began communicating with them. Now I do CE5, which is human initiated contact, and have developed a relationship with these beings. So that's the gist of it.
So can you tell me, like, when that first time happened, did you instantly also felt like they were communicating or contacting you, like, in your mind?
Yeah. So the first time, I was just really excited at first. And then whenever the second craft appeared and it was much closer, then it became really real quick. It went up, down, side to side, did some crazy things that our aircraft can't do. And I definitely felt like it knew that I was watching it. I was the only one, outside, and it came directly to me and disappeared over my house. So I felt like it was very intentional. There wasn't any really like communication there yet, because I started shaking because I was so, it's just so shocking seeing your first one that close. But afterwards, in the months that followed, they began popping up a lot. And then I began realizing that, they're there's a purpose behind this. They are, trying to communicate with me. And then after, some months of that, then the communication really went to the next level.
Wow.
Mhm.
Oh, let me say hi to a few people here. Hi, Ms. Liz. Good to see you. Jimmy and Aaron is there from Journey to Truth. Homo Galacticus, good to see you too. Mountain, Shelley, all welcome. And so, oh, wow, this is so fascinating because before the whole COVID thing, you had nothing whatsoever
Yeah.
to do with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's part of the reason why they kind of chose me to do this, because I wasn't into UFOs before this. I wasn't like a UFO enthusiast. So I was like a clean slate, really. And was looking at it from a very unbiased lens. Like I was looking at it through a scientific lens, trying to investigate it. So yeah, that's correct. I didn't know anything about it.
With pure curiosity, because if you I can imagine the shock must have been big, but at the same time I guess there's this childlike wonder thing going on, right, which is really good when that happens, because if you are in total shock, then I guess, but then maybe they already knew, right, that you were, I mean, I call it the chosen one, but that's a bit, well, it's a bit a weird word. But so you also were a photographer already, or did you start at that time?
I've always been an artist, and I did dabble in photography, but I didn't really start focusing on photography until COVID happened. And then I started doing astrophotography, and I just fell in love with it and was doing it all the time.
Yeah, that was, oh my gosh, your pictures are beautiful, and it's really an art, and I love it. So then did you instantly know what type of beings were contacting you? And yeah.
No, so I didn't know anything about, I didn't know what a star seed was. I didn't know the different star beings. And even probably like even months and months into this, at first I was researching and investigating them, trying to see like, oh, they move like this, or they appeared like this. And because it's really shocking, it looks like magic. It's not like anything else that we have or that we see. So I was kind of looking at it curious from that angle. I didn't know who was in, those vehicles yet. Then I started coming across information about star seeds, and then, the Pleiadians and other type of star beings. And then at first I didn't want to believe that, because I was like, that sounds kind of like, I don't know, it sounded kind of like fantasy. But it's very, very real. And those were actually some of the beings that were contacting me. So after I found out that they were my star family, and that I was what's known as a star seed, and then I began receiving visions from them, telepathic visions. So then I got to see what these different beings looked like.
So because you never had these visions before, so can you describe what these visions are like, how that feels, what you see, and how that comes to be?
Mm-hmm. So the first one that I got was during my first CE5, where I initiated contact with them, and a golden orb appeared, and I had somebody there with me to witness it. So that was really cool. And this golden orb sent me a vision of a woman with light blue skin, and she had no hair, and she had a skin tight gray silver suit on. So the vision literally looks like just a flash of a vibrant image. And as I began meditating, sometimes the visions are like a movie playing. They can be very vibrant. Sometimes it's a little bit more subtle. I've seen beings, it looks like you're looking into another dimension. There can be a lot of light, a lot of energy. So sometimes it looks like you're looking into another world. I guess that'd be like the astral world. And I've seen beings start from like back there and then come up to my face as if they were standing, as if they were standing right in front of my face.
And so what would they communicate with you, to you? Because and will you like hear that like a voice in your head?
I get voices sometimes, yes. For the most part, especially in the beginning, it was more of a feeling and just kind of like a sensing, and then just a sudden like sentence was, or not even a sentence, like a whole understanding of something was just like dropped on my head, like what they call a download. It's like suddenly you have all of this information and this understanding. Um, so a feeling, sometimes I get words, and they also like to communicate through the visions. And with the visions, it's like I get an image, and then there's like a whole paragraph of information that comes with it. Like I know what it means and, you know, what they're trying to convey. Some of the big things that they told me, well, they wanted me to know that they wanted me to share that, you know, we're not alone, and that we are closely connected with these beings. And whenever I found out that I was a star seed and that they were my star family, that there are many star seeds on Earth right now who have incarnated to, you know, wake up now and help with this shift. They taught me a lot about spirituality. I wasn't very spiritual before this. So one of the first things that they really taught me was that we are all one. And they taught me that time is an illusion. The past, present, and future is all happening all at once. So that's how, like with remote viewing, I've been able to, and you can just see different points in time because it's all happening all at once. And they've shown me past lives or parallel lives. And one of the major things that they really, as my communication with them picked up, was DNA activation. They told me that we are very special beings. We have very special DNA. And scientists say we're only using like 5% of our DNA, and 95% seems to be junk DNA. It doesn't appear to be doing anything. And that's just not the case. It's multidimensional DNA that we can activate. So they focused heavily on that. And that's one of the main messages that I try to convey and help people with now, is to activate their DNA, because as you do that, reality just changes. And
Right.
spontaneous healing, developing new gifts. It's like a whole new world as you begin to activate this DNA.
Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, obviously I heard about all that and I've experienced myself certain things, but you know, this is quite intense in your way, and to get this all at once, all of it. And but you know, you really went well with it, in the sense that, you know, like it's natural, but it's almost like there is this piece within you that is just activated and awakened, right?
Yeah, 100%. And one of the first being that I ever saw, the girl with the light blue skin, they were with me. They were from Lyra. They were with me heavily all last summer. I could feel them every single day. They would be sending me messages every single day. I meditated with them every single day. It's like they were teaching me. Yeah, it was really, sometimes I still miss it. Like I still have beings that I connect with and stuff, but there was a while where these beings were with me like literally 24/7 teaching me. I got like kind of the crash course in all of this, and things happened very quickly. And after a while, I guess when I was ready, they told me that the woman in blue skin was actually me, was another version of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because what I understand is that we can live multiple lives all at once, and because time is not linear, right? And I myself had a life like that as a blue being, well, a blue lion being, actually, in the Lyran system, a few of them actually. And so I always thought, well, I didn't know there were blue lion beings, but I guess there are, because, you know, I've seen it. And it was amazing to learn that. And but there are multiple places we are from in the star system. So I just wonder how that works, because you can actually be everywhere all at once in different lives. And it's very complex to understand, right? But did you manage to comprehend better once you have this contact with them? It's like you go a different level of understanding, I guess, right?
Yeah, and downloads is a good word for it, because it's like upgraded, and now you can actually fathom. Like I knew that we all came from the same source, and I knew that there was something greater out there, but you don't actually know until you know. You're like, oh, like, so it just takes on like a whole new, deeper meaning. And yeah, you're better able to understand it and access just the infinite wisdom of the universe as well.
Yeah, and also the amount of information you can pick up on, because I know these downloads and it just goes like a train on, and it's amazing that your brain can actually handle that. But somehow, yeah, it's meant to be that way, right? So you also have a lot of footage. Do you want to share that with the people? Because yeah, that's amazing. It's really fascinating, and yeah, and tell us about it with the footage.
Yeah. Of course. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay.
Well, I'm going to check if I can get my live stream to work on Foxhole, but it doesn't seem to work at all.
So I just wanted to show you guys a few photos of my astrophotography that I've done. So this is a photo of the Andromeda galaxy, which is our closest neighbor, 2.5 billion or billion light years away. I forgot. 2.5 something light years away. This is there's Pleiades right there, and the Orion Nebula.
Wow.
And the Pleiades. So that's.
Do you photograph them through a lens of, like, what you call them, a telescope?
Yeah, you can use a telescope. I don't have a telescope, but I have a lens that's about that long. So it's kind of like a mini telescope. It's it's a 300 millimeter lens. So yeah, you need a either bigger lens or a telescope to get in that close.
It's amazing. I love the Andromeda picture.
Yeah. Thank you. So this is one of my best UFO photos. This was taken during a CE5. Let me show you some context here. So I was at the park. I began going out to watch sunset and connect with them, or do CE5, initiate contact with them. There's like all last summer I was doing it like every day.
So can you briefly explain what CE5 is for those that don't know, and how you perform that?
So CE5 is human initiated contact with UFOs or extraterrestrials. So you're inviting them, and how you do it is you can do it through meditation. At first, I wasn't really meditating. I was just doing my astrophotography and getting in a relaxed, blissful state,
right?
And, setting that intention. And whenever you're in that kind of high vibe state, you're better able to connect with them. And so you can do it just getting in a relaxed, blissful state. You can meditate. And that's kind of the gist of it. And just setting the intention and asking to connect with beings of the highest love and light. I say, you want to be specific about who you're connecting to, and just kind of, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you do not want to attract, obviously, the wrong beings. So
yeah, exactly. You just want to be specific with it. And if your vibe is high, then you shouldn't have an issue. But yeah, you don't want to just, because the universe gives you what you ask for. You don't want to just ask for you don't want to let the door open for anybody.
yeah. Because if you have even a slightly fear in there, it's like manifesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that actually, the second time I attempted CE5, I was with other people. It wasn't my idea. It was somebody else's idea. I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, because I don't know how they feel about it. I don't know how they feel about UFOs. There were other astrophotographers, and a couple of them, they were afraid. They weren't. And we ended up having some, kind of weird, like paranormal stuff that happened. I knew that the star beings were there, though. I felt their presence. I knew that they were watching, but they wanted to teach me that lesson. Don't do it if there is fear in there, or with other people who have any fear. It's just not a good idea.
Right. Oh, wow. Amazing.
So this was just me meditating at the park. There's the UFO up there. How can I zoom in? Oh, here it is. It's behind this.
All right.
So it's up here, and I took a time lapse of it, which is consecutive photos. So I set the timer on and started taking pictures and did the meditation and asked them to appear, and then I felt them, and they appeared in there's also another little thing up there too, but they appeared in 3 of the photos. And this is a close-up of it. This was and it looks different in each of the photos too, which is really interesting. It's like at first it looks kind of like a blob, and then it turns into a ship, but it still looks different than this.
Right. It's like it's morphing.
Exactly. And that's often what they do. And I've noticed that through capturing photos of them and doing like consecutive photos, they morph, they change.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
what that
especially
orange
when they're
thing is.
like the light beings, right? Because it's like the Merkaba, and so that flickers kind of like it's spinning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually gotten photos of orbs. So that was a big thing that I found. They can actually appear as orbs. I think they're projecting their consciousness, or possibly using like a light ship. And in a video of one of these orbs that goes by, it's in the middle of the day, you can see 2 beings on each side, a head and shoulders, and in the middle is a triangle.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a being, a triangle, and then another being. You can see that, but it's in this little orb. It's really, really fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah. This is during a live CE5 that I hosted. There's going to be a UFO that comes up right over here. So we got together as a group. There it goes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We were connecting with the Pleiadians that night, I believe.
Beautiful.
You can zoom it in a little bit.
Amazing.
Yeah, this is with a night vision camera. This is just a photo. So I took a longer photo where, it was taking a picture for like 10 seconds or whatever.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
this is what
Oh,
I got. It's like a streak, because it was a long exposure. So it was taking
right.
a photo and it caught some streak. They are very, very fast.
Is that then from a light, like an orb, or is this really from a ship kind of?
I'm not 100% sure. They come in all different types of ways. I've seen them just all different types of ways. That could have also been like just an orb, or some sort of a probe that they put, that manifested just to get in the picture real quick. But yeah, it was something bright lime green.
I do believe that they really choose for people that they are able to photograph it or film it, and others are not, because it's, I guess it's because the mission of what you need to convey to other people about it and the way you're going to do it. And I do believe that they know that up front, and so they allow you to do that.
Yeah, I've talked to many people who have tried, photographing or trying to record it. And a lot of people, they either don't remember to do that, or it's like they're told not to. So yeah, they are very specific about who, I think this must have been an agreement, or, the plan that, that they would appear for me. And this is a light being, photo of a light being in,
wow.
Yeah, this is.
But did you see it also without the camera, or did you just capture it on the camera?
No, but I could feel them.
Yeah.
and I got kind of like the nudge. A lot of time it's just like a nudge, or like a kind of a ding, like take a picture. So I
Right.
took a picture, and then I realized afterwards that that was right in front of me. But at the time I was meditating so much, I could feel them around me like all the time.
Wow,
I could, yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
I love the
yeah.
outline of it. It's like a hand kind of thing there.
Mhm. It's got little rainbows in it too. Very
Yeah.
beautiful. Very beautiful.
Wow.
Hmm. Here is one of my first encounters. This was my second encounter ever. This craft was hovering in front of me, probably about like 50 or 60 feet in front of me behind some trees, and a light beam appears out of it. So they gave me a light beam, which is really cool.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Also, there's ESETI having a lot of activity at the moment. Everybody has a lot of activity. There's somebody here in Holland as well. Loads of activity going on all over the world at the moment. So, yeah, it's time that they show themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I've had visions of, orbs coming out in the sky during the day. I think they're going to be showing up more and more frequently, especially as we kind of spread the message and get people to, initiate contact or kind of take that step themselves also.
Yeah. Do
I
they
have
give
not been to
you?
ESETI, but I want to go.
Yeah, you should. I mean, yeah, it's all about who's there as well, right? And then you get even more activity. So, um, wait, I lost my train of thought. I will get back to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can show you guys one more. This is an orb during the day. So like I said, they can come in many different ways. There's a bunch of little light ships and orbs around the sun, and then we get another one that appears, and it makes kind of like a Rubik's cube looking.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, you can see it just kind of shifting and morphing, like tumbling.
It's almost like a little Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, really interesting how that one.
Wow.
Mhm.
That one is beautiful. It's like it's really performing for you.
Yeah, definitely. I love it
So,
when they do nice things.
do they leave any messages for humanity, or are they personal more?
Um, a lot of it they were teaching me kind of like my personal history and a little bit of history about the earth. Like I said, I got kind of the crash course of all of this. Um, the one of the main things is awakening to who we truly are, because we are so powerful, and there is a lot of fear going on around us and a lot of distractions going on around us. But just kind of going within and raising your vibration and activating your DNA, everything else will begin to fall into place.
Yeah.
And this is a Pleiadian woman who visited me, and she gave me a message to humanity. I put the video on my YouTube channel. And a majority of what she was saying was that we are very gifted, we are very special, we have, the power of the creator within us, and we've been asleep for a long time, and now it's time to awaken this and to focus on our heart space. Because in your heart, that's how you can communicate with your higher self and how you can communicate with these other beings, these enlightened beings. So just focusing on that heart is so powerful.
Wow. What's her name?
Ahara.
Ahara. She looks identical to my sister.
Really?
Yeah, my sister's much younger, but yeah, identical. It's amazing.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And because, they visit you, like different beings visit you. So clearly you have a lot of connections with them all over. Or is it that they just come randomly to you because you have these connections?
I feel like most of it is some of it kind of seemed random for a while, but what I'm finding is that it's all for a purpose. Like each being that I communicate with, there's an intention and a purpose behind it. And I probably know them. I just may not remember them in this lifetime or remember them yet, but then it starts kind of coming together. But especially in the beginning, I was seeing a lot of different types of beings, the lion beings, the feline beings, Syrian beings. I've even seen like benevolent gray beings, and the Pleiadians, different types of Lyrans. So yeah, it's a variety.
Yeah, beautiful. I love it. Actually, hey Joshua, good to see you. He says, it is my belief that COVID monkeypox vaccines are designed to eliminate psychic ability, instant muggle vaccination law. So yeah, I mean, I do believe they do try to do anything to sabotage us, but I guess most of the work lies with us anyway, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. I asked the star beings about that, and they said that Pfizer will be exposed and that all of that stuff, it won't prevail, but we definitely have to do our part and help, getting everybody together, and meditating would be great too, but just getting together and helping people to become more aware. And we do have the power to heal ourselves. It's in our DNA. And I knew whenever that vaccine came out and it said that it changes the DNA, I knew that was.
Yeah, me too. Or like instantly, there was not even, I mean, not a millisecond I had to think about anything, because, yeah, it's
Right.
and it's an intuitive thing, right? You just know it's not a good thing. And and whoever is bumping into that and just, did it anyway, I guess that is part of the process as well. I mean, I don't know how to see that exactly, but yeah, I do believe we all have our lessons to learn here. And
and they've told me that if you focus on activating your DNA, then you can heal yourself. You can come back from it.
Yeah.
So that's like the number one. Yeah, that's like the number one, priority, really.
It's actually a good lesson in intentions as well. As soon as you've discovered the truth, as many have after they took it, and then all of a sudden they start on their journey to heal and do that. It's like, in a way, it actually helps accelerating this awakening as well, because, it's important not to get in a panic, but, at a certain point, I guess we're arriving at a point there's no choice anymore but to go through your journey and through the process of healing on every level possible,
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Yeah, and it's basically just, it had to get so bad that people were kind of forced to say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. Something's got to change. So
exactly. So do you think that they are going to assist as well in the process worldwide, and how they will go about that?
So I think that they have kind of like emissaries. Well, all starseeds, we're all emissaries.
Right.
We're like the inside guides. But so what I do on Sundays, I do live meditations and activations, and I call in the star beings. Like last week, we connected with the Arcturians. The week before that, Syrians.
Yeah.
Next week is Lyrans. And the people who are attending these are having, like, somebody had a blue orb appear, like in their house. Yeah, in Arcturian. And people are having all of these different experiences from it. So I think initiating, like, they don't want to interfere. They're standing by and they will help. And all of us have, star family and beings that are connected with us and can guide us. But we kind of have to take that first step, and setting the intention to connect with them is going to go very far, very far. They will help us.
Right. Yeah, because they kind of use people in a positive way, right? To become that portal to awakening, like you and like many others. And I can see that because I was actually talking to somebody this week, and we were talking about, yeah, what does it even mean to be a portal? Well, you just sometimes have to be, and sometimes you just, are there, and whatever you're going to say or, emanate from yourself, from your energy, that will trigger other people to wake up as well. And yeah, I can totally see that. And it's accelerating lately as well, because we're getting there at that point where it's time. It's like the 11th hour kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of DNA activators, and a lot of it is knowledge and just wisdom. So and also the light codes that come from things like channeled material, even my photographs, because they carry those frequencies in them. I've actually got teary-eyed and cried. My ears started ringing from looking over these photos. So that's activating in itself. And then just other people's channelings and just talking about it, getting together, is very, very activating. So we just need to keep doing that.
So what will you say to people that are struggling? Because obviously being surrounded by this chaos that's going on in the world, especially here in Europe, you notice it very well. And for me, it's really suffocating, hence why I'm leaving and going to Mexico. But, wow. I just have to get out of here. I've been awake for so long, and I do think I need to go on to a different mission and start living my life instead of, from another place. And what will you say to people that are struggling and get distracted by chaos and fear and things that are, being put out there?
Mm-hmm. So I would ask for your guides to assist you with whatever specifically that is, or your star family, of the highest love and light. Ask them to help you heal. So what happened with me, there was a period of time where fear was coming through a lot, and I was having a really hard time. This wasn't just like all rainbows the whole time.
No.
There was a pretty rough patch, and they were teaching me lessons as we went. But healing past traumas, so a lot of this fear comes up because it's something that is kind of imprinted in us, or it's been made a habit too. So kind of going to the root of that and focusing on healing, meditation's great, and just focusing your intention on that. And another thing that the star beings have really taught me is to follow your bliss. Distract yourself with whatever makes you happy. For me, that was if you can. For me, that was astrophotography and stargazing. So that's what I did. If you're following your bliss and whatever gets you in just kind of that happier state, then it's going to continue. You're going to continue that momentum. So even if it's not, that great right now, if you just keep following that, your bliss and what makes you feel good, it'll grow and grow. So it's just, it's a process, and also get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water.
Right. Yeah. And also surround yourself with people that are like-minded, because, sometimes we can be around people that are constantly busy with the fear-mongering from what they hear. And, oh my God, this is going to happen. And, oh my God, that's going to happen. And then, they come to you and tell you all that stuff. And you're like, okay, seen it for years now. Right. But at the end of the day, we still create our own reality. And we need to start being aware that we are definitely creating our own reality, no matter what. It's not like an option anymore. It's a responsibility.
Yeah. And I feel like it's becoming stronger and stronger, like the manifestations of what you choose. It's becoming, the contrast of kind of good and bad is getting greater.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So there's not really any like fence sitting anymore. You're either like there or over there.
I actually have that on the personal level, because I'm moving to Mexico after all these years being here and doing not having a life kind of. And there's this past year is like being guided by my soul, and but my ego is not liking it at all. My ego is trying to do everything to sabotage it and to say nope and putting fear in. And then there's this other part, which is my soul, is just saying, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going on and continue on. And that's literally what's happening. And it's constantly this switch. And so then when I feel fear, I'm like, yeah, I can feel it all I want. It's not going to go away anyway if I'm not surrendering to what my real purpose is. And the sooner I integrate the two, the sooner I just accept, the less you're going to suffer. But it's a struggle. For everyone it is a struggle. But so I do I do very much understand for many people how it's it's an up and down and up, and it's a roller coaster we're in, literally.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And then also DNA activation. So, and I have some resources on my channel about DNA activation, but that as you begin to do that, things become easier. Healing becomes easier. And there are rough patches for sure, but that activating kind of like more of your true self and true light, it makes things easier. So definitely set your intention on that.
I watched quite a bit of your videos and I really love them. They're really activating too, just by listening to what you have to say. And, there's this calm, beautiful, high vibe to it. And I definitely recommend everybody. It's actually in the description of the video on YouTube, not on DLive, but go check it out there. Also in the Foxhole, you can find the links all. But I definitely recommend. And I really love that you're doing these Sunday meditations. And I missed the one yesterday, unfortunately. It was just too late. And I was like, crap, forgot, but they're very, very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we've had some interesting, from the one that we did yesterday, we had some people cry. They got emotional. It was a healing meditation. So it hit them pretty strong. So definitely recommend it. Star beings can help us. We all have star family out there. We have star origins. So kind of learning more about that and connecting with that is just things will begin to make more sense. And just know that you have that support out there too, and it's gonna be okay.
Yes. And I love that for you and many others. Hi Lara, good to see you. Why am I not live? Because it didn't work again, so I have no idea what's going on. It just doesn't work through Restream, so I need to figure out something else. But what was I going to say? I was just distracted by what I saw in the chat. Actually, if anybody has a question for her, let me know and I'll ask it. But so that's it. I know a few people that actually got activated like you did, especially during the COVID thing. But then they went also all the way, all of a sudden, like other people that have been awake for so long and they don't even have all these experiences that you have, and others that I've seen that start to actually connect instantly with these beings. And it's very interesting how when people do get activated now, it's really fast and it's exponential too, right?
Yeah, life was getting pretty crazy there, especially for a while. It's very reality bending. It happened pretty quickly, but that's also one of the things that I know my purpose is to help be the bridge between Earth and the star beings, to help be kind of like the Pocahontas between Earth and star beings, and help connect people with their star families.
You definitely do. There's I told you about Peter Slattery, who does the same, and he has the same experience as you do, but for years already. But there are more and more people like that, and it's okay. It's great because we need that, and I do believe it will only start becoming more and more, and this. So I do think you're doing a really great job and you're just following your mission. And I love it. So is there is there anything you can tell us about all the beings that you are connecting with and their differences, or, you know?
So let's start with the Pleiadians are usually the Nordic looking ones. I've seen blonde ones. I've seen some brunette ones, and they look very human. They are very closely related to humanity, and they're very closely connected with us. So I think Pleiadian would probably be like the number one. They probably have the most star seeds on Earth right now. So there's probably many people who will watch this that have Pleiadian origins, and they're just really great beings to connect with. The Arcturians, they look less human. They've got, the bigger eyes and bigger heads. They've got grayish, bluish skin. They are master healers. They are among the most technologically advanced in our galaxy, and they just have, if you're looking for healing work, definitely connect with them. Just very peaceful, blissful, positive and wise beings.
Right.
And whenever you connect with them, so this is another good point, they may be communicating with you or connecting with you and you don't even realize it. They can communicate and connect with you through your dreams or through sudden ideas or inspiration or wisdom, like a download. And through signs and synchronicities. So you may already have a dialogue going with, your star family or a galactic guide, and you aren't aware of it yet.
Right.
Yeah,
are you asking if you're an Arcturian?
Oh, no, I am not Arcturian. I am Syrian, Lyran, and Pleiadian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lyran, Andromeda, and also Alpha Centauri.
Oh, wow.
Also Syrian, actually, Syrian as well, but a lot of Alpha Centauri, Andromeda, and Lyran. Lots of Lyran. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I've got a lot of Lyran too, the feline beings, and then blue ones, and probably many, many others. Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of us have multiple
the mixes. I actually met them, my star family, in a session, and it made me cry because it was the first time I felt, oh my God, this is what I miss, like home, like real connection. And I'm a walk-in, so that was pretty confusing, to say the least. And so when I had that session was in 2017, and oh my God, it was like for the first time in my life, I felt like a connection with them, and
like home.
Yes, like home. That's it. Yeah. And they all look different. They were like, it was almost like the Daltons, but with different colors. But it was beautiful, and it's it was really emotional, I have to say. It was yeah. So how was that for you?
Heart.
Yes.
It fills your heart.
Yeah, I just get goosebumps still because it's something I haven't experienced on Earth before. So yeah, that's very interesting. But did you, because you connect to many of these beings, so you know instantly which one are a soul family, which one come in just because they can give you messages?
For the most part, yeah. For the most part, I'll kind of get a memo if like a new one appears. Lately, I've been meeting some new ones. It's interesting because it's like they kind of come in phases. Like the Lyrans were very heavy in the beginning, and now I'm getting more Pleiadian and other types of beings. But I woke up the other morning hearing the words, "We've known you for a very long time." It was like,
yes.
So I'm still meeting others, but for the most part, yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Actually, Laura's asking, are mermaids strictly Syrian?
They are Syrian. There may be another planet out there like that, but I know for sure that they are Syrian. I've been a mermaid as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's an aquatic planet with Sirius, and then there's other ones that aren't. There are many different types of beings from Sirius. That's why, like, sometimes whenever I see these beings, I'm like trying to figure out, okay, but where are you from? But where is everything? But there's just so much. They're
Yes.
so vast and so different. So it's hard to kind of keep track of them. But yes, mermaids are Syrian.
It's beautiful how overall we know obviously which one are the good ones and all that. And to hear more and more how similar everybody has these experiences with the same beings. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And so
Mind-blowing.
well, do you have any messages from them for the audience?
I would say that, if you are here right now on Earth, then it is for a purpose. And you do have Star Family who is looking out for you and who will connect with you. You also have different guides. So I would say knowing your star origins helps a lot, because the communication for me really ramped up whenever I discovered that I was Lyran and that I was Pleiadian. It just created a more personal connection with them. So knowing your star origins helps a lot, and things begin to kind of make sense from there. And yeah, so just reach out and try to connect with them, and just know that you are not alone, and you're strong. We're like the inside guys here. We're the inside men. They're on the outside helping us from out there, and then we're on the inside.
So Sarah is asking, how do you meet your star family? Because you were talking about the C5, and you put your intention there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So CE5, you can be outside if you want to like see a UFO. You can try that, meditating outside, setting the intention and asking, connecting kind of like with cosmic consciousness and raising your vibration by getting in a relaxed, blissful state. Because then you can kind of meet them halfway because they're very high vibrational. Also focusing on your heart space. Because like what you said, whenever you met your star family, you got really emotional and your heart like swelled. So invoking that feeling within yourself can definitely help with connecting with them. Even if a ship doesn't appear, don't feel bad or discouraged. There are a lot of time things going on around us that we just can't see with our eyes. But if you can feel them, if you feel that in your heart and you might get emotional, then that means that they are there.
Yeah, because Alara says, oh, well, Sarah asks, how do you meet your star family? Mm-hmm. Well, like that, right? It's all about intention.
Yeah. Intention, asking. You can also connect with them on, a spiritual level. And as you build that relationship up with them, it may take like a little bit of time, a little bit of practice. I would just start talking to them, honestly. That's what I was doing after the UFOs came. And I didn't know who they were yet. I was just walking down the street at night, looking up at the stars and talking to them. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but do you want me to like take pictures and show everybody? Like, what do you
Right.
and then
like you put it, you do that in your head, obviously not with words, or do you?
I mean, I probably might have said it out loud too, but people might think you're crazy if you do that.
I do sometimes, but then I'm alone in the house, so I can, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, on the street,
exactly.
you might want to be a bit more discreet.
Yeah, but just doing that, because we are all connected. We are all one. We all come from the same source. So we can connect with these beings no matter how far away they are. You just have to kind of practice at it. Developing a meditation practice would help a lot. On my YouTube channel, I have a 3 keys to connect exercise that takes you through like 3 major key points that I use whenever I'm connecting with them. So that would probably be very helpful if you want to, try and initiate that contact.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Mm-hmm. I actually watched that, and it's beautiful. I'm definitely going to go give it a go in Mexico, because here um I'm not at my best here. It's yeah, I learned that it depends where you are, how you feel, that it's vastly different. You can be actually in a place that is not good for you energetically. Well, I discovered that, and yeah, let's hope it's going to be different there. So,
Yeah.
so is there a specific time that you choose to do the stargazing, for example, or that you have more success than another time, next to obviously setting intentions?
Mhm. It would actually help if you did developed a routine. So for me, like sunset was a really good time, and it seems like dawn and sunset, the energy is higher, so it may be easier for them to appear. Um, but really any time. But if you set a routine, like every night you at like 9 p.m., you go out and look up in the sky, or you set the intention to connect with them for like, do it for like 10 minutes. And you just keep doing that, they're going to take note of that.
Yeah.
And eventually something's going to happen. So I would
Oh,
just develop a routine.
I remember you also saying about the clouds, how they shape in, and I practiced that actually last week, and I was on my balcony and watching, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's going to come, right? And indeed, I saw these shapes forming in the clouds, and I was like, well, is that my imagination? It really doesn't matter, because it's a start. And could you actually show? Do you have photos of these clouds?
Um, oh, I
And
don't
I
know if
love
I
how clear that heart shape.
Oh, yeah, I don't have them readily available. I'm in the
Okay.
middle of transferring some stuff, but I do want to make an album of those. That is a really big way that they would communicate, with either like a heart in the clouds, or like a strand of DNA, or an eye, um,
Yeah.
numbers. Like
Oh,
I'd look up and
wow.
there was literally like a number 3 in this in the clouds. So
That's so cool. And do you know then what you have to, what they are meaning with this? Well, obviously, a heart is a heart, right? But
yeah.
certain things that they display for you.
Well, the DNA, I learned more as I went with it, but I know they were teaching me, our DNA is important, my DNA is important. And, there's more to it than what humanity knows. And that's kind of like the key, is activating that DNA. And the eye, um, I felt like it meant the eye of the creator. It's kind of a reminder that I create my own reality, because it's an eye looking back at you. It's like the creator's looking at you. He's there with you, or source is there with you. So that's always a reminder of that for me. Also, third eye. That actually, focusing on your third eye would also be good to help you to better be able to pick up on kind of like those subtle energies and subtle information. So I
Yeah.
focused on my third eye, and began developing, being able to receive visions and stuff like that.
Beautiful. Yeah. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I do recommend people to do the cloud thing is a lot easier, because people, somebody said just here, like, I would be scared, I would summon a Draco. Well, yeah, like you said, right? If there's fear involved, then
Yeah.
certainly, you should just approach it with bliss and in a relaxation state. Otherwise, yeah, not a good idea to go about it when you're in fear. And maybe I was thinking that the easiest way then is just go with the clouds and check the clouds and see if you
Mm-hmm.
can, because I also heard that sometimes these beings show themselves as something that you feel safe with,
Mm-hmm.
in order not to scare you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. A lot of time I remember one time they appeared, I was doing a meditation outside, and it was at night. This sky was completely clear. And whenever I opened my eyes after this meditation, there was a bunch of clouds that had came in, and I could see silhouettes of these beings in the clouds, and I could see like
Wow.
silhouettes of their ships. And I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, oh my gosh. And it was wild. And then I kind of got afraid for a second, because I was like, are they about to come down here? Like right now? um,
Well, they definitely eased you into it, right? But and also you
Kinda,
have to
yeah.
go to that heart space in order to get rid of that fear, because what they're really doing is connecting through the heart, and with good intention. So yeah, I do think it's extremely important to just calm down. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is physical death, and that's not bad, right?
Yeah, as baby steps, asking for a sign, and you can practice with your spiritual guides. We all have spiritual guides, so you don't have to try and make contact with extraterrestrials. Just kind of practice developing that relationship with the spiritual realm or source or your higher self. And I found like the ETs and spirituality are so closely intertwined. The communication is very similar. So
Yeah.
you could try that
And
to start.
they come in all sorts of ways, because I do the BQH sessions, which is the quantum hypnosis, and oh my god, I had so many experiences like that, and it's so real, it's so beautiful, right?
Wow.
And we can get a lot of answers through all types of ways, in all kinds of ways, and whatever makes people, can make them more comfortable with it.
Mhm.
I guess we just need to be open to it, right?
Mhm.
So
And
are
baby
you,
steps.
yeah.
Baby steps.
And so are your meditations guided as well by them?
What's that?
Are your meditations on Sundays, are they guided by them, by the beings?
Yes. Yeah. I basically just channel it. I don't like really plan them out ahead of time. I just kind of go with the flow. I invite them there with us and then just go with the flow.
Right. So then, because you said you have one with the Lyran, and then you already set your intention there for that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be there Sunday. I need to put it in my agenda so I won't forget. And what time is it every Sunday?
At 2:00 Central PM. 2 p.m. Central.
Okay. In the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Every Sunday.
I'm in a different time zone. So sometimes
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
need to calculate. Oh, wait, which 2 o'clock? But because here it's 2 a.m. in the morning. So,
Right now it is.
yeah. So
Oh
for
my
me,
goodness.
it's standard to be awake at night. And somehow I think everybody is, but that's obviously,
Yeah.
silly. Yeah.
I'll send you
So
an email.
yes,
We'll
please.
figure it out.
Because Central, that is that an hour ahead of Eastern, right?
Right now it's 7 p.m. where I'm at.
Right.
PM.
So that's an hang on. Yeah.
You're a bit ahead of me.
Right. So you're 8 hours ahead of I'm 7 hours ahead of you.
So that would probably be evening time for you then, Sunday night.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at 9 p.m.
There you go. It's a good time.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And let me see if I have some questions for you before we go. Are the rainbow clouds any specific one race? Is Dennis asking.
What was that question?
Are the rainbow clouds any specific one race, or any specific race, I guess he means.
Oh, I'm not sure. Are you talking about the light being with the rainbow shimmer?
No, I guess he means the cloud that has kind of a rainbow hue to it.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think that there are so many different types out there. They can come in many different ways. So I think rainbow is probably the platinum and rainbow is pretty popular. So, but if
Just
you
like
intuitively if you feel like maybe it is just a specific, one, then that's probably what it is. Listen to your intuition.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very important, actually. It's you mention that, because at the end of the day, we all need to tune into our intuition. That is so important to do, especially when you do these things, and just let it come to you and stay in your heart space, stay grounded, and and stay relaxed, especially. That
Yeah.
may be very important.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, the grounding was tough for me.
Yeah, the grounding is really tough for me too, especially as a walk-in. That's one
Mhm.
of the most difficulties there are is the grounding because you're constantly still with that soul there, right?
Yeah. My head was always in the clouds.
Yes.
Ground, ground, ground. I'm like, but I can't.
Yeah, and as soon as you ground your before you're not paying attention again, boom, there you go again, right?
Yeah.
It's so typical. So I thank you so much for being here
Mhm.
and telling your story. And actually, we should do one on those clouds one day if you have everything settled and the pictures ready and all that. Because I think
Okay.
there's a lot to tell about the clouds, and
Yeah.
it may be really great for people as a start, right,
Mm-hmm.
before they go to that next phase and next step. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you need to ease people into things.
Yeah.
In order to get them comfortable. So, and maybe a good idea for your channel as well, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I have a bunch of the signs and synchronicity clouds in a folder. I need to organize them a little bit better. And but yes, I do want to share those. I think that's a good idea. And even just through the photos, there's activation in just from looking at it. So that would be, yeah, that's a good idea.
I noticed that, especially when I saw the first time I saw that picture with the being. Oh my God, that was just radiating off it. It was so powerful, and I do recommend everybody to go check out her channel. Where are other places people can find you as well?
Mhm. So on YouTube, Lily Nova Starseed. And I also have an Instagram and a TikTok where I post, um, you know, some channeled material, some UFO footage, just kind of a variety, some star being and star seed stuff. And my Instagram and TikTok is lilynova.in.space.
Okay, I have the links all in the description anyway. So, do you have different material on your Instagram and TikTok as compared to YouTube?
Yeah. So I just
Okay,
started YouTube recently too. So now I'm doing more of kind of getting people through the beginning processes on YouTube. So that's good for getting in deep in the activations and meditations, and then various content on, yes, it's
right.
all different. All different.
Okay, well, great. I hope people will go check it out definitely, and also be there with the Sunday meditations that she does. I mean, we can get need all the help that we can get, and
Mhm.
to get that DNA activated. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for being here. Sorry for the technical difficulties we had in the beginning, and
no
I'll be
worries.
back next week with you all, and I don't know what guest I have yet. Did I forget? Well, it doesn't really matter. I'll be there. And thank you so much for being here.
Mhm.
And yeah, have a great evening, everybody. Peace out.